It is November 1st, which means last night was Halloween. That's the bag underneath the eyes that, fortunately, are bigger than the one for my tea. So I do have littles, and that meant trick-or-treating. But it was a great opportunity to be able to try the From Beyond. I was waiting for it to come in, and as luck would have it, that ended up happening last night. So it was kind of a nice coincidence that I got to try From Beyond on Halloween while going door to door with the kiddos. So this is the 2023 blend. This is Cornell Diehl when they basically are trying to replicate a Dunhill nightcap having been inadvertently aged. Now, lots of credit goes to that, right? I mean, trying to create a blend from different tobaccos that are from different ages themselves, to try to replicate that. I thought that was a pretty cool endeavor to try to pull it off, So, hats off to the blender, because that is pretty much what this is. I mean, should have done my pre-lights before this. I apologize. But yeah, it definitely pulls that off. I'm not going to get into tin note. I don't know. I mean, some people like it, and hey, that's fine. Tin notes to me, it's kind of like I can sit in a Porsche, right? And yeah, it's nice, good feel, like the leather. But until you actually fire it up and take it for a ride, you know what I mean? That's what it's really all about. And so with that, I'm not going to get into the flavor text, which is to say the dramatics of what's on the tin. But as far as the description of ingredients, you have Turkish Latakia, which is, acclaimed by the blender. That's a higher quality Latakia. I agree. It definitely has a much smoother profile, I think, coming from there. Matured Virginias, aged Orientals, and pure St. James Perique. I will say, if you like Perique, you will like this blend. It for sure, they were liberal with their blending of the Perique. And not in a bad way. I'm going to put that out there too. It's not in a bad way. It's not like overbearing. But yeah, great. The Oriental in it is definitely present, which I like personally. I love Oriental in a blend. But by no means would I say this is an Oriental forward blend, but it's there, which I like. Again, anytime I don't have to search for it, and it's not like an aftertaste or an afterthought, and I have to kind of really mentally try to pull out that flavor. That's not what happens here whatsoever with this. Very small batch, obviously. I mean, this is 13,585 out of 15,000, so not a huge batch. I really wish I had I purchased two, one to smoke now and one to go ahead and put in for later, right? Gonna be really hard to not smoke the second tin. I mean, it's obviously Halloween's over and we're in the States. So because we're in the States, that means they've already been getting ready for Christmas about 4 weeks ago. But that said, this is one of those blends where this is great. If you live in the colder climates, this is a great blend for that. I personally love any blend like this. I mean, if you like the haunted bookshop, anything that has that kind of an older flavor to it. Which is odd, when you say that out loud, that it has an older flavor. Like, what does that really even mean? But if you've had those kind of blends, it is. I don't want to say that it's musty but it has that dark old feel to it. I mean, it's kind of like walking through a home that was built in the colonial days in the 1780s. For anybody who's been around New England, my wife and I, we actually flipped a home that was built in 1781, and there's this smell to it. It's not an off-putting smell. It's actually just the opposite. If you're like me and love old books and the way they smell, like there's just this special nostalgia to it. And again, when you pair that with the dark and the mysterious, and certainly for the Halloween period, I mean, we've got it out of the Peterson Jekyll and Hyde 2023 pipe, which is, why not, right? But this has that profile, but the Virginias are there as well that give it that nice blanket, that sweet blanket, not a casing sweet, but just it's subtle fruit, but subtle. I mean, I know that, some of the descriptions that the company has is that there's like a fruit profile from those Virginias. It's, yes, I'm not going to say that it's not, but it's subtle. I'd just say that there's just a sweetness to it. Which in tandem with like the sweetness that you get from Orientals with that floral, herbal, incense kind of a sweet smell, they really complement each other well. But yeah, so I'm probably going to try to get another 10 of these before I go to work today, because I know that 2's not going to be enough. And they don't produce these every year. It's not an annual thing. As far as continuity goes, this is something that's, a couple years before each one. So if it's not too late for you and there are some left to grab, I would definitely recommend this. Certainly if you love any kind of a bold profile, if you like, I wouldn't say it's the Perique isn't overbearing, but if you love Perique, this is definitely up your alley. I don't really know how much more I can sell that. It's not something where it's like, oh my gosh, it's way too much, and I'm not a huge fan of Perique, so I probably won't like this. No, it's not like that at all. Like it's there and it's prominent, but it's so well blended that they all. It's you will not get bored as far as your palate goes smoking this. This is something that you can certainly sit back and enjoy, because it has enough for your brain to pick apart as you're sipping it, that it really makes for a great 45 minutes of smoke, obviously depending on how fast you smoke and the size of the bowl. But definitely go out, grab this if you can. I look forward to cellaring one long enough to be able to compare the two together, because I think that would be a unique experience as well.